Hey, this is Darren from Property Prosperity. Today I thought I'd tell you a bit of a story about the other day when I was walking along with my kids. It was getting around about lunchtime. We were walking along and we felt a bit peckish, and we saw a sign that Gloria Jeans, the coffee place, had toasties for $3. We're like, man, $3, that seems like a pretty good deal. So grab ourselves some cheese toasties, and so when we ordered the cheese toasties, hanging around for a while, for some reason it seemed to be taking quite a while. So we're sitting around and the kids were going, what's going on? Where's my cheese toastie? I'm ready for my cheese toastie. And so I'm like, okay, well hang on. Just wait, it's coming soon, it's coming soon. And then when we got the cheese toastie, I'm like, cool buddy, that's awesome. Gave him my $3. And then I looked at it, and then something just didn't look right. It just looked a bit soggy looking. And I looked at it and then turned it over. On the other side, it was totally cooked and looked really perfect, golden brown. The other side, it was white and soggy, and I said to the guy, I'm like, I think something's wrong with your toastie here. It's like one side's really soggy and not cooked at all, and the other side's perfect. So, what's going on? Do you know what's going on with it? And he's like, yeah, our toastie maker's broken. I'm like, did you know that before you cooked it? And he's like, yeah, but I've told the boss that it's broken, but he hasn't fixed it. And I'm like, oh, but my toastie's all soggy on one side and then it's all cooked on the other side. And he's like, yeah, what am I going to do? I've told the boss to fix it and he hasn't fixed it. And I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, how are we going to eat this toastie when it's all soggy on one side and not soggy on the other? And he's like, I don't know. And that was the end of our conversation, basically. And I thought, well, that's, the lack of care factor was like on the extreme, I suppose. And I'm like, well, maybe there's something we could do, man. Maybe we could just turn the toastie over and then cook the other side. He's like, oh yeah, probably. And that was the end of the conversation again. I'm like, well, maybe you could do that for me, and you cook the other side as well, and then it'd be cooked on both sides. And you can see he wasn't real happy about it. The fact he'd have to turn the toast over and cook it on the other side as well, because obviously it was because the toastie maker was broken. So it was probably expecting a bit too much of him. And so it probably led me to think about the fact that how people nowadays, I don't know if it's a nowadays thing or whether it's it just happened to be this example, but I've had a few examples where people just don't seem to care anymore. And in this example, this guy was, he's getting paid per hour anyway, he's just standing around cooking toasties all day. Literally it would not be that much harder for him just to turn the toastie over. I understand the toastie maker might have been broken, and so it was only cooking on one side, but to switch it over to the other side, or just don't serve the toastie at all. If it's not going to be at a standard that someone can eat it, then what's the point of even giving someone a half-cooked toastie and the other side's all totally soggy and stuff? So what has that got to do with property? I suppose that relates to life in general, but also in property, really. There's a lot of things we can do that don't necessarily cost us money that can make a difference to our investing in property. And, one example of that is just be nice to people, or, with the example of your tenants. Tenants are there, understanding your tenants are there, they're paying your bills, essentially. The reason you're investing in property, if you're buying and holding, you're buying and holding for the long term. You're really hoping for capital gains. That's where you're going to make your most amount of profit or money in your pocket at the end of the day. So what the tenants are doing, you're putting the tenant in there, they're covering your costs until giving you more time, waiting for the market to go up, and then you can end up with your capital gains. So you really got to value your tenants, because the tenants are the ones that are going to give you that time. So get a tenant that's going to look after your house and just not trash it and keep paying you rent in that period of time while you're waiting for the market to improve is like gold. And so if you get a tenant, the key is to be really nice to them, because they're the ones that are going to be looking after your house that period of time. So everything you can do to make them slightly happier, and just at the end of the day, if you're nice to them, then hopefully they'll be nice to you. And so again, you don't want to, hey Darren, thanks for joining Ashley. So I suppose what I'm just saying is, if just do stuff that just shows you care a little bit about that person's situation. And it might be that you're a bit more flexible. You don't necessarily want people to take advantage of you to a degree, but you might be flexible with their situation. It might be, you might give them a couple of days grace if they don't get behind on their rent, or it might be that you just, if they've done a good job, buy them some movie tickets and just say, thanks very much for paying my rent on time and not trashing my house. I really appreciate it. Why don't you take your family out to the movies or something like that? And so, for the sake of $20, that could be the difference between a tenant trashing a house and not trashing a house. So, there's lots of examples, and this goes running a business as well. You can really just show you care to people and just show you really, care about their situation, not focus purely on what's best for you. You really focus on what's best for them. Because I know from my perspective, I really believe in karma, and so I'm just hoping if I'm nice to people, then at some point in time they'll be nice to me back. And there's occasionally people aren't nice to people, and they're not nice to me as well. And I just have to say, hey, well, if they're not nice to me, then maybe someone won't be nice to them in the future. So hopefully that's made you think about, just how you operate in your day-to-day life, but also how you may operate in the world of property. Is if there's anything you can do that show you care about people just slightly more than otherwise they'd expect, then I think that really makes a big difference. And I think you'll find that, it's going to come back to you. So I suppose it's a little bit like just putting something away for a rainy day, just investing in your relationships with people at the end of the day. That's what showing your care means. If you're investing in a relationship, you can give and give and give, and at some point in time you might need something from somebody, and because you've helped them along the way, then hopefully they'll return that favor back to you. And you can't expect to return the favor, but hopefully just by the fact you've been nice to people, hopefully they'll be nice to you as well. So that's probably my take on it today. It's just be nice to people, just show you care, and hopefully you'll get the benefit from that in the future. So what I'd like to do today too is, I know anyone that's been watching my Facebook Live, my Facebook videos and my YouTube videos over the last few months or so, I've tried to give as much information as I possibly can about a whole range of topics. But if someone's got something they'd like to talk about, like me to talk about, or they've got some questions or queries they're not sure about, they're welcome to put a comment in the comment box, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions. Or if you've got a problem right now, you're not really sure how to deal with it, you really think, maybe I need a second opinion, then happy to hit me up. Send me a Facebook message or any way of communicating with me. My details are all over the place. So send me a Facebook message, and I'm happy to book a 10-minute call with you, have a quick chat with you, see if there's anything I do, try and put them in the right direction. At the end of the day, I've been involved in thousands of property transactions, so I'll probably will know the answer to you. But if I don't know the answer, I'll definitely know someone who knows the answer, because I've got a massive network of friends and colleagues who've done thousands of property transactions as well. So hopefully that's going to be useful for you guys. I look forward to talking to you again soon. If you've liked what I had to say, then click on the like button. If you haven't liked it, still click on the like button, because I'd really appreciate it. And if you've got a situation where you've seen someone that's shown you some, maybe haven't cared about what they've been doing for you, or maybe have shown some care and looked after you along the way, then I'd be interested to hear about your situation. And I look forward to catching you again next time. Catch you now. Bye.